Good morning. So this video is going to be a follow-up to my previous video. I'll put the link up here regarding my year in review of the Coyote NS6010. It's about 3 weeks later since I posted that video. Since then, this tractor, which was supposedly fixed, had another issue.
There's a wheel that is not really spinning.
According to the dealer, the brand new safety switch that was put in, along with the ECU, did not work. There was some issue with the safety switch and there was a bad connection. What I'm told is that the male to female connection, one of them was oblong and it didn't set right. Therefore, it wouldn't start and make good connection. I then sent an email to my dealer and Coyote with this information. They came and picked the tractor up and took it to the shop. A week later, they called me back. The tractor returns. They say they finally fixed the problem, should be good to go. They need me to run it and test it. So that's what I'm planning on doing. They put a couple hours on it at the shop to make sure they had no more issues with the start functionality and to get everything to work as it should. In the meantime, while this tractor was down, I got 3 separate quotes from 3 separate dealers, 2 of which are in the area. I received a $25,000 trade-in value, a $35,000 and a $38,000. Now, mind you, less than a year ago, this was purchased for roughly $52,000. I fully understand appreciation and how it works. However, 50% of a tractor's value lost in less than 2 years, I'm not buying it. So I requested a trade-in quote for an RX 7340. 2 dealers gave me a really good deal, one of which gave me the $25,000 trade-in value. They're out. The second dealer gave me a really good deal. However, when we went to go for the financing portion of it, I still owe on this tractor. So DLL, which is Coyote's financing partner, requested the remainder of the loan to be paid in full prior to this trade-in, which I can kind of understand from a business point of view. You don't want to be upside down on a tractor. Well, neither do I. That being said, I'm not willing to pay $7,000 cash for a problem that I didn't create. So that dealer is out. The third and final was $10,000 over the other 2. Basically telling me they don't want my business. So I'm left with what I perceive to be my only option, as selling this tractor outright, either Craigslist or Marketplace, is, in my opinion, out of the option. I'm not even going to entertain that. It's not fair, nor is it right to do that to somebody. Making this tractor somebody else's problem. I could sell this to somebody at Marketplace for a good chunk of change, but in my opinion, that's unethical and makes me morally bankrupt. So that leaves me with what I believe to be my last option. New York State's lemon law. I've gone through the process about a week ago. I submitted the application along with some other attachments and some other supporting documentation. However, day before yesterday, I received a notification that that was kicked back as the form was improperly filled out. Keep in mind, I've had this tractor down for over 7 months, close to 8. So I wanted to make sure I had all my ducks in a row. They're only interested in filling the form out with 4 dates. That form was rejected and I need to fill it out again. Well, there's a problem with the form. When you check a box, any box on the form, it checks them all. So that makes that form inaccurate, which undoubtedly is going to get kicked back again. I tried to call them. However, I was 15th in line. Nevertheless, I'm going to submit the form again and go through the whole process. So That leads to the age-old question. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna keep plugging along. I am gonna try to do the right thing here, go through the process, file for the lemon law, and get out from underneath this tractor. When they dropped this tractor off, they disclosed some information that they had not been paid for a single warranty claim. Now, their documentation is subpar as a dealer, in my opinion, but to not be paid for a single warranty claim, of which there's at least 8 that I had documented, tells me a lot about Coyote. I have been CC'd with the warranty claims manager in the Northeast region for Coyote. He has yet to respond to a single email, and he's CC'd on every single email that we have had between the dealer and I since June. It is now July 27th. I have almost a total of 60 days with this tractor out of service. Now, if they didn't bypass the seat safety and other relays, I'd probably up to 12 weeks, maybe even more. So what that tells me is Coyote doesn't stand behind their product. They don't give the support to their dealers, and they sure as heck don't support their customers. So with that being said, Coyote, do better. Now, I certainly am not going to go without a tractor. I've got to figure that out, but I cannot make a move until I get out from underneath this. I'm not going to strap myself just to have a tractor. Not going to do it. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue to drive and operate this as long as it works, but I'm going to consider my options. That includes TYM, Kubota, and John Deere. Where I live in upstate New York is primarily deer country. Just the way it is, they have a lot of dealer support in this area. Within 15 miles, I think there's 5 or 6 John Deere dealers. So that's where I'm leaning towards as the dealer support is there. I understand no matter what machine you go with, you're gonna have to deal with issues. Totally get that. It's how your dealer treats you as a customer that really makes the product. Had my dealer and Coyote fix this issue or admit that there is a problem with this tractor, I'd probably still be brand loyal to them. However, I'm not. If you are looking at a Coyote, I highly recommend you check out your dealer and ask them questions. Ask them about their success rate with tractors, how many they sell, who they sell to, what issues are they currently seeing. All of those questions are going to help answer significant questions that you may have when you're purchasing a tractor, which undoubtedly is a significant financial decision. For me, I did about 3 years worth of research, looked at tractor videos to include GoodWorks tractors with Casey. He really put Coyote on the map for me. I just happened to have a bad experience with them, and I'm not saying they're not for everybody, because people have had Coyotes, from what I'm reading, for 20 years with no issues. It really comes down to your preference. And unfortunately, Coyote is not mine. Thank you for the support. It really means the world to me. I'm going to keep you all updated into the progression of this. I have a feeling that it's going to be a lengthy road, lengthy paperwork battle, nonetheless. And I just want this resolved, right? I just want to go about my day and be able to do the things that I want to do around the farm. That's the whole reason I went brand new, was to avoid issues like this. And unfortunately, I'm just the person who got stuck with a lemon. So please like, subscribe on your way out. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to hearing your feedback.